Hi, in this video I'll be talking about logical operators in general and also how do we use logical operators in Matlab. So to introduce what logical operators are, they are used to compare two Boolean values, and it could either be true or false. Conventionally, 1 is for true and 0 is for false. In Matlab, when comparisons are made, a Boolean value is expected, then if it's false, then it will be represented by the word false or 0, or it'll be represented as a non-zero value or true. These are some of the logical operators that you can use to make Boolean comparisons. There's the AND operator, the OR operator, and the NOT operator. This is the truth table for the AND operator. If we compare between A and B, and if A is 1, true, and B is true, then the result of the comparison would be true or 1. If it's A is 1 and B is 0, then the comparison will result in false. Third scenario, if A is 0 and B is 1, then the result will be false, and if false and false will result in a false. So only if it's true and true will result in a true, where for anything that has a false would result in a false. For the OR operator, if A is 1 or true and B is true, then the result will be true. But if either A or B is true, then the result will also be true, just like this too. Only when both is false will the result be false. And for the NOT operator, it doesn't compare two cases, it just produces the opposite effect. If A is 1, then the NOT of A is 0, and if A is 0, then the NOT of 0 is 1, and same goes for B. Now let's see how this works out in Matlab. First, we need to define a few variables. A equals to 0, which means A is false. B is equals to, you can type out the word for false, and Matlab would automatically know that it's 0. C is equals to 1, which represents true. D equals to 8, which also represents true. E equals to true. And F, a matrix. Now let's try a few scenarios. Let's start with the AND operator. What if A, let me just remind you what A is and what B is. A is 0, B is 0. If A compare B using the AND operator, false and false would result in a 0 or false. If A, which is 0, and C, which is 1, it means false and true, A and C will give us a false. If A and D, A is false while D is a non-zero value, which is true, which will also give us a false. And A and E, A is 0 and E is true, 1, will give us a false as well. But what if A is 0 and F is a matrix? What will happen? It will compare each value in the matrix and give us the comparison element by element. Because A is 0 while F is also 0, which is false, will give us a false. And since A is 0 or false, then every element would be a false. Let's just say G is 1, G and C is also 1. That will give us a true. Now how about the OR operator? A or B, A is false, B is true, B is also false, will give us a false. A or C, A is false, C is true, will give us a true. And A or E, A is false, E is true, also give us a true. And A and F is just like AND, it will compare each element in the matrix with A and give us the results of the comparison. Now how about not? Not is the opposite of the current value, and not of A will give us, since A is false, will give us true. Not of B, which is 0, false, will also give us a true. Not of D, which is a true, give us a false. It's true, even though it's 8, it's true because it's a non-zero value, and any non-zero value is a true. And a not of F would produce the opposite value for each of the element. So since the first element of F is 0, which is false, then the not of false is 1, not of true here is false, and so on. Now, what if we would like to combine many logical operations in one line? For example, A, N, B, or C. Now, which one would occur first? Is it the or the and? Now, the precedence, the order of which comes first, not operator comes first, followed by the and operator, then the or operator. So for this case, since and is in this line, so the and operator would compare A and B first before it goes to B and C. A and B is 0, 0, and C is 1, so 0 and 1 will give us 1. But what if A or B and C, because we have or and in the same line, and according to the order of precedence, then the and would happen first, then the or. So B and C will be compared, which would give us 0, and A is 0, so 0 with 0 will give us 0. And if there's a not, then this not would happen first. So this not B become 1, and then 1, A is 0, so 0 and 1. So that will give us 0, while C is 1, and 0 and 1 will give us, or 1 will give us 1. A, not B, and C. Now again, the not would happen first, would occur first. So the not B would give us 1, so A, or A is 0, so 0 or 1 will give us 1, so 1 and C is 1. So since both is true, and it's the and operator will give us 1. So that is the end of this video about logical operators, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.